Activity. Oh, we're live. Are we live?
Yes, I hope so.
We're live.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of stuff going on today. We have Karina here, right?
Yes.
Did I get it right?
You did.
Oh my God, no way. We're going to be working on a little bit of a lot of long hair. We're going to be working on a little bit of long hair today. We're going to keep it long, right? We talked about this already. Clean up the edges. She likes to pull her hair back in a bun, which tells me that we're not going to go crazy with layers. We're going to keep it a little bit enough so that they'll go back and wrap into a bun, which means we'll probably do some face framing right about in this length and just kind of like soften it up a little bit. We do have a lot of stuff happening in the salon today. We got electricians in. They're going to be popping in some electrical for all of our new front desk and where we're going to move everything. So things are starting to move, and Madison's going to take over and work on this videoing. We're going to make this really crisp and clean. And because we're going to do that, we decided we're going to use shear. Working on longer hair, so I'm grabbing a longer shear. We got a lot of hair here. You can just see the length and the fineness of it. We're going to work in small bites. So, as we move, just combing the hair first. And the importance of combing the hair first is really to see like growth patterns. I can start to see like where the hair wants to stick up, where it wants to move. Karina, where do you usually part your hair?
Right about on the...
Kind of a little over on the side? Yep, a little bit on the left-hand side, but just kind of like where it falls. Kind of like right there. Give or take. It doesn't matter exactly, because when we cut, we'll be cutting kind of to go any which way. The only main part is when we work right in here that it really matters. And then it looks like it swoops a little more this way than this way. We'll cut it fairly centered. Keep walking around here. Really pay attention to the growth patterns. Making sure the hair isn't stuck to the head, so it's bouncing a little bit. Using the wide teeth of the cutting phone. Really kind of give us that ability to get some movement. So if anybody has any questions on there, make sure you ask them.
Okay.
And you can respond to them and we'll talk to them. Gotta make it interactive, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Makes it fun.
So exciting, isn't it? We're live. Welcome to 21st century. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to help myself by setting up kind of like looking at, instead of working on the apex of the head, kind of going to drop it into what we call our axis point. And this point is right where it's kind of like following the head shape. And I'm just going to follow curvature around with the head shape, and it usually falls right about to the mastoid process. That bone right behind that ear, kind of like right in here. So we're going to go to the top side of the mastoid process, and it kind of, if you look at this line, you'll notice it kind of just falls in line with her jawbone, with her cheekbone, and just kind of like with her bone structure. It's just kind of like the balance point. So we're going to work with that. We're going to get this hair up and out of the way. And flip it. Flip it.
Nice clean sections.
Nice clean section. Whenever you're working, you want to work as clean a section as possible. You just kind of like want to be able to see how the hair is falling. Follow that curvature of the head. Find that bone structure. The best way to get a really clean section, so like as I comb and I notice that this hair really wants to pull this direction, I kind of let it.
You don't fight the natural growth
No,
pattern.
you don't want to fight the natural. You want to like let it just kind of do its thing. When you fight nature, not a lot of good comes out of it.
Normally nature wins.
It usually does. I know. And that's just about with everything. So nice and clean. So you can see, it's not a perfect line up here, but it's just where the hair wants to go. And I'm not really worried about that because we're going to be working down here to start. Now, one of the things that I'm going to look at is I'm looking at, you stand on this side, you'll be able to see like her head, shoulders, and the angle here. So what we want to do is we want to try to create the straightest plane from here to here, so we can get that long line, so we're not like, you know, creating this like question mark.
Yep.
Look.
And like over direction some places, and then
Pull everything just straight down. So
Okay.
generally, if it's a bob, I might not tip her head down, or I might tip it down just so that the comb is laying flat plane here. Now, if I'm working here, I'm not really going to have plane. It might be too much of an angle. So it's just creating that little bit of an angle so I can work very nice, even. So head down just a little bit, right about there. You kind of just, you're going to have to move a little bit based on where you're starting and cutting. And again, you'll notice one thing that really helps when working with long hair. Whenever you're working with long hair, comb it into your palm of your hands, because then you have full control. Because of our density, I can take a little larger section. If I was going to be like really super precise, I'd be taking these little itty bitty, but you can see there's nothing left to cut here. So I'm going to go a little bit higher. See what there is, because she's got some breakage, and we want to get rid of some of that. You already start to see, there's about where we want to start.
where it starts getting to its full length.
We want to go to the full length. So I'm going to go really at her, it's right at the lower part of her occipital. And it's slightly curved, so if you notice when I'm working with this, with her section, I kind of like part it so it isn't straight across, it's a slight angle.
It works with the curve.
Just work with the curve of the head. Grab it with, sorry, excuse my Now we'll go to this other side. Comb the hair in the same direction. Find that angle. Just that same curve. Could be pretty balanced. You can interrupt me, it's all good.
He's live streaming. John is so good at this technical stuff.
Alright, so now we've got our shape. I can tilt her head down. Now when I tilt her head down, now I can see that angle from here to here. Where if it was here where we thought it should be, you can already see that it's going to be like in her back. We want to like tilt her head so it's like an even flat plane. That's the whole purpose of like tilting someone's head, is just to make sure that you've got that plane so you're working in an evenness. Using the fine teeth of the comb, I'm going to use tension. When I want to grab the hair, I'm going to comb from the base. Oh yeah, you want to come on this side? I'm going to grab all the hair at the base, fine teeth of the comb, at the base, and shift. Oh, I gotta bend at my knees all the way down to where we want the length to grow, which is going to be right about at the base of the chair. And the other side, take a little piece of what we previously cut. Same thing. Now, if you notice, I cut from the inside out on this side. I'm going to do exactly the same, cutting from the inside. Following that same line out. Take a look, kind of cut the needle, make sure that it's at the same film.
Because then that's going to act your guide for the rest.
We'll grab about the same width of the comb, because her hair density is not like insane. She has much tighter density. We'll go with like a little bit smaller sections, because her density is a little bit more medium. We can take a little larger subsection.
Because we'll still be able to see the guide through.
And that's the whole point. You want to be able to see the guide. You can't see, so you can just see as I comb it down, you can already see the guide. If you can't see it like that, then it's like, you should probably start over. Again, find your angles right, comb in, grab all the hair, come on, tension. By using tension, I'm only going to cut to stop. Shift over. Next piece. All the way through. Near that line. Next side. Starting in the center again. It's just really a lot of the same mechanics. The hardest part is switching your body position, your finger position, your angle, and making sure that everything is consistent throughout. And making sure you're not cutting too big of chunks from the outside in. You cut one side, you don't simply want to cut smaller bites. Large scissor cuts create steps, but that way you can see a really clean line. Now, I'm going to go a little larger piece. I'm going to go to the top part of her occipital. You can still see the guide. Still working in that same diagonal. That's just working with the head shape. What'll be cool about today in our live class is Madison is actually holding our camera right now. In a little bit, that's what she gets to do. What do you get to do, Madison?
Get to blow out this long hair.
I'm going to work on blow drying and working with the round brush.
I mean, I didn't quite verify it, but it'd be nice if we only had to go this far.
So straight.
And then if we got a full.
You see that I'm really only taking some down in larger subsections, taking smaller pieces of what I can control, really paying attention to that angle at the head, utilizing that tension. I first look at what's happening here, then I look at what's happening throughout, and then I look at what's happening between my fingers. I have to work in a system, not just combing the hair, cut what's at the bottom. You actually have to okay, do I have the base where I want it? Do I have all the hair flowing in the same line? And then do I have the same elevation at the bottom? It's all about the discipline and control. It was really exciting this weekend. We had Travis from Beat Out So Soon here, and Madison, you got lucky enough to work with him backstage.
Oh, I did. It was fun.
Yeah, and what did you learn while working with him? What did you notice, or what did you learn? What was the biggest take home?
Well, he did a lot of clean sectioning. That is really the biggest thing that I've noticed. Otherwise, it was a little bit, lots of running around, but the clean sections are very important.
Yeah. The best hairdressers are the hairdressers who can section really clean.
Because then you have the best control and you know what's going on.
Exactly. And I think it's important as a seasoned hairdresser yourself to make sure that you understand that. The nice thing is you can just see that. It's the dark hair against the orange chair is so nice. This is the ability to really see what we're looking at. Hopefully everyone can hear over all the construction and all the stuff that's going on. We're really excited about what's happening here. Yeah, in 2 weeks, this lawn's going to have a whole different feel. Really excited about it.
Disconnected that one piece.
And the lighting's going to be fantastic.
Oh yeah, lighting's going to be. So you'll notice as I'm going, I'm giving it just a little bit more elevation each route, just ever so slightly. Giving a lot of tension and then elevating the hair just a little tiny bit. Instead of laying it flat on, I've now got one finger elevation off of the. So it's starting to give us a little tiny bit, if you wish to say graduation. It's just to give us a little more movement on the end.
Okay.
I want it to be blunt-ish, but have a little bit of movement.
So it doesn't just sit there like a broom.
It's not going to sit like a broom. Nobody wants broomy hair. Nope. Not particularly. I don't. Well, actually, I want my mullet to look like a broom. But that's just because I'm a little weird. I'll be the first one to say that. And yes, this is how I cut hair when it's really long like this. two of my favorite people are using their tools. I'm using the Rojo Clip and the Rojo Cutting Comb. Both are really amazing tools. I'm also using my Mike Card K-Reg Long. Love these shears. Super awesome. If you're ever interested in them, go check them out. Follow them on their websites. Follow them on their things. Buy their tools. I think it's important to have really good tools. That's my sales pitch. That's it. That's all I got. Now we're going to move into the side. Now, we were just having this debate the other day. At this point, we've cut everything square. Would you agree? Just a blunt, pretty much blunt line in a square shape. Now, the question is, if you bring all this back and cut it square, keep cutting that same line, over-directing everything back, are you still creating a square shape?
No.
You're saying no? What would you say? We were having a debate about this. Some people say yes, some people say no. So what do you say, Madison?
Well, if it's brought back, it is going to be creating a square shape, but when it brings down to the front, it's going to be more of like that angled forward. Yep.
Yeah, so here, that was what I was saying. It's like, it'll be a square line in back, but through the sides, it'll be an angle forward.
Because you're over-directing the front.
The front, back. So, we're going to do that. Is that cool? But I can do all of this in one. Look at that line. You can still see it. So the trick is, though, make sure you comb, and you can sing that comb, until it's like perfect. Once I comb with the wide teeth to get it where I want it to lay, I start at the rounds of the head with the fine teeth. Once I get to the bottom of the hair, right at the nape, then I can put my fingers in, grab everything, use a lot of tension, continue that straight line. Now you notice her head shifted, so now I've got a straight line. Here, if I kept her angle, I would change the shape. Bring everything down again. Once I get to the nape, grab my fingers, bring everything down. Again, it's really controlled. I'm just going to cut in that nice straight line. Nice piece. All the way down. My comb is going to be my guide. Just drawing a nice straight line. All the way across. Shifting. Boom. All the way across. So then when this falls, we got a nice crisp line all the way across. Now, to the next side. Break this apart. Again, comb everything in its natural. You notice I kind of keep working with the curves of the head. So I'm not pulling from the front to the back, because that's going to be different. That's not creating the same shape that we want. We want it to go square in the back and still become triangular, so we have to over-direct everything towards the back. Again, using the wide teeth of the comb. Give us that motion to where we want it. Now we can see our guide.
Yep.
So once we get everything so that it's laying perfectly, then I can start to go in with my fine teeth. Once I get to that nape of the neck, and I got all the hair, grab it in my fingers. And I can start again just like we have been, starting on the inside, working my way out. Using my comb as my guide. All the way through. Now, because I'm right-handed, I always will have a tendency to want to drop. And anytime I start to drop, this is going to want to like drop. So I have to really be cautious and careful to keep my arm where it is so that I'm pulling a straight, clean line. All there. Here we go. So you'll see that the whole haircut really isn't so much in the scissor. It's more in the combing than anything else. So then we can bring this all down. Nice clean.
Mm-hmm.
Are you having fun? Are you learning? Okay, good. Don't be doing this at home. That's all we say. We're trying to make it way more complicated than it is so that you can't do this at home. So again, we've got a straight line in the back, so it'll be a square in the back and slightly angles to the front. Now we're going to start in the front. And this is going to give her some movement. So when working in the front, we're going to work off of her part, but we're going to kind of, our section has to kind of curve with the head shape. So it's not a true diagonal, and it's not a true curve. It's just kind of curves with the head shape. So it just kind of curves. Flip this out of the way. Bring everything to how it's laying and living. Make sure we got it even on both sides. Bring everything on down. So one of the things, first thing I'm going to do is look at what we have on the sides. So we haven't really cut any of this. It's pretty close. So that kind of tells us we don't want to cut this. What we want to do is take this line to there and this line to here. And that's all we're trying to do. We're cutting to this point and to that point. Shift her head a little bit to me. Her hair, you can kind of see, wants to fall right there. So we're going to work with that because that's where her hair is naturally always going to fall. And a little bit of water. Oh, look, it's marked water.
Yeah.
So we know. Just in case we don't want acid.
Like a cat.
Bad. No. Just a little bit. We need some moisture. We can't have all this little flyaways. Okay, so in doing this, what we're going to be doing is we're going to bring everything straight down. Now, in doing this, we're going to be working with a fine teeth of the comb. We're going to figure out where our angle is going to start, which is right here. Again, we're going from here to here. We're going to create this line. But to do that, we've already got the head is already curved. So that means we can't cut a curve. If we cut a curve on a curve, it's going to start to square out. We need to cut it almost straight up and down. So we'll bring this down into its natural fall. There we go. I'm not going to cut between my fingers, but I'm using my fingers kind of like as a cutting board, and I'm just going to etch straight up and down. My next piece, again, take just a small 1-inch little bite. Fan that hair out. Again, cut straight up and down. Take the next piece. Now I'm not putting any elevation on this hair because if I put elevation on this, it's gonna like totally disintegrate. Because anytime you elevate, you're creating graduation and layering and you're removing more weight. I'm trying to build as much strength as I can. You can already start to see that line, just like we talked about. By cutting a straight line, we created that shape. So now we're going to go to the other side. Same thing. This side's a little trickier, body position. I'm right-handed, so I have to be a little bit trickier on it. There's my guide. So take my guide. I don't want to take all of it, just a little. Again, I have to work in small bites.
So it's easier for control.
All about control. You want to jump on this side. I have to change my body position. Now I have to cut from the bottom straight up and down. I got to take like little bites, really hard. Next piece, little bites. Lay everything down, and I can cut backhand, or I can just keep trying to cut little. Straight down, shift. There it is. So you can start to see that same line. Now this is our first segment, so this is like going to be the smallest. You're not going to see the biggest change here. I just want to make sure it's even. I look at it and go, okay, you're doing what I want. Are these pieces falling about where we want them to? Okay, let's go to our next section. Next section, I'm now going to work in a diagonal back. Right behind the ear. Got it? Now, instead of pulling, we're just going to let the hair fall into its natural fall. You can already start to see that needs to be cut. When you cut here, you just need to cut what's here. I wish I had a white cape right now. Yeah. Take that segment right behind the ear, same on the other side. Bring everything down. You should be able to start to see. I'm going to go right to my hard side first, just because I already have that motion in my mind. There it is. Straight up and down. Bring this straight in. You'll notice I shift my hands and my fingers, cutting that line straight up and down. The scissors straight up and down. I don't want to curve it. I don't want to angle it. Bring the hair straight down. Now it's going to be stronger, so you're going to start to feel it a little bit more. Start to see that line. Go to the other side, same thing. But now you can see it because this side is stronger and it's easier. You can just cut straight up and down. Pulling the hair straight down. No tension, just in my hands. Following that guide. Already start to see. Pretty cool.
So with each section, you're building a little bit more weight.
So with each section, I'm building more weight and giving it more structure, just bringing everything straight down. Just right into how it naturally falls. So you can see with this, I don't have to cut much here, just have that little tiny bit. Come down on this side. I mean, that's the thing. It's like if you're taking a really clean lines, ooh, you can see that angle here. When you bring those really clean lines, now you can see that's all I have to cut. It's not about how much you cut. Always remember it's what's left on the hair is what your clients are paying for. Never how much is on the ground. It's not what's on the ground. Then we just like be so awesome. Just shave everyone's head, weigh it by the pound. You want to like, right? Just be like, that's what I would do. I'd be like, all right. Boom. You can start to see this solidify, how solid that line is. Again, all we're doing is cutting a blunt line. A little there, a little there, a little there, touching on through. Follow our previously cut piece. Boom. And now all of a sudden you've got angle, 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 and this is the longest point. And everything's pretty much right, almost spot on. Now we haven't done any layers or anything on here, but now we're going to just a little tiny bit. I'm going to turn it to the mirror and bring everything back because you're going to notice just that little tiny bit should not change the back line. If it's changing your back line, what does it tell you? You need to cut into what you've already cut. Our back line should be pretty straight still. You just have a little tiny bit of roundness on the ends. Alright, so we're just going to soften up her edges a little. Start back at that axis point. Same thing we did before. Now the reason I cut her perimeter first, a lot of times when I go into layers, I will cut the layers in first, but because of her fineness of her hair and the density, and we want to strengthen that, we need to put this in a little bit. We have to put this in first. Now, we're not really going to layer her hair, and we're not going to be like making it shag, doing anything crazy. All we're really going to do is take out a point. And I can do this all in one. Similar to what I just saw at with Sassoon and what they were doing with their reverse layering. We're going to do something very similar, and we're just going to take out a point. And bring everything straight up. We're going to bring everything up, and you're going to see a line here. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
That's our line. This is what we're going to, this is our layer right there. And all we're going to do is cut a straight line. Get rid of all those crazy ends. Next piece, just make sure it's all in. Ah, lost it. Hair's so fine and slippery. Oh, and don't apologize for it. It's great. It's what so many people want.
That's what I want.
Boom. So we got our clean line. What this is going to do, because of the curve of their head, it's against the head shape, layers that are moving against the head shape. We got that nice, clean, straight line. When we bring this down, you're not even going to see the layer. It's just going to soften that edge. Again, all it's going to do is soften that edge.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go to the next piece. Take that center. Take as much as we can control. Using the large teeth to gather everything up. You'll notice I'm still, just like I always said, work into your palm. Right up. Now I use the fine teeth. Use that comb as your guide. And you'll be able to see our guide. All the way across. Now this side is hard, and that's again why you don't want to take a giant piece, you want to take a small piece, because I have to cut from the outside in, but you still want to cut from the inside out, even though your scissors are pointing backwards. And that's the hard part, is keeping everything balanced. If I cut from the outside in, I'm not going to get the same balance. I have to cut from the inside out.
Looks like we got some comments.
Oh, what do we got?
Hi, friends. Nice work from CM Andrews.
Oh, awesome. Kat was a model 2 weeks ago. We're going to do some more work with her, hopefully. And get some, like, I think we want to do some foils down the road.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
All right, now we're going to do the same through the top. So we're going to do the same, but we're going to work half and half. Now we're just going to use what we already did. Keep working these sections. Take our previously cut piece. And shift everything straight up. Now these, technically, will be vertical layers. Because we're taking a vertical section on the sides. So we're working a little bit more aggressive. So you'll see a little more layering towards the front. Because we're working vertically. So it's very subtle in the nape. Bring everything up. Gotta find our guide. If we can't find our guide, there it is. And I'm gonna work one side to the other side. And we're gonna work vertically. And this is something like, I don't usually work vertically like this, but I'm going to today. And we're bringing everything towards the back a little tiny bit. Now the reason I'm bringing it towards the back is that means it's going to save a little more weight to the front, because we already removed some of that weight to the front because we over-directed it back. You can see the guide? Just a slight. I don't want to take it like crazy all the way back. Just a little tiny bit. And again, just going to slowly over-direct it to a previous large section to gather everything, get it to like where it's even. What I'm looking to is I'm using my mirror very carefully, so I'm making sure that everything is like all in a row. So you can see when I comb, I start with my section, bring everything and shift it to where I want it to be. Look in the mirror to make sure everything is like spot on. There's my guide. And you can see that I'm not cutting that much because we've already cut this front. You don't need to like shatter it all out. That's nothing. Yeah. subtle. This is just like really cool, soft layers that are blending in to a nice, blunt, clean line.
Steven, you got someone else. Hi, Steve. We have Mary Ammons. And it says, "Hi, Steven. I'm here with Jeff O'Neill in Dallas watching you work. Jeff says hello."
Oh, hey, Jeff, what's happening? I haven't seen you in a long time. You need to come visit again. I need to get down to Dallas, actually. Go visit. All right, bringing this all up. Find my guide. Cutting from the inside all the way up. Again, if I cut from the outside in, I would never be able to hit my mark. Working vertical sections, pulling everything through. Again, over-directing everything back to that previous. Really paying attention in using my mirror, making sure that my angles are spot on. Now you can see my guide really strong. Cutting from the inside, working out. Just remember, this is all about discipline. We're not here to chop hair all off. We're trying to just save a little tiny bit. We're creating that line, letting everything that doesn't want to be in there fall out. Just bringing everything straight up, over directing it back. Should be very, very little. There you go. Guess what? Now we can cross check. So to cross check, all we have to do is just pick up this hair. You should be able to see. So it should be going from shorter to longer. And it should blend into what we've already done. Do that on both sides. Bring this all up. The hardest thing about working with long hair is that it wants to like dry out as you go. There you can see shorter to longer, but it was all because we were using over direction to create that angle. And in the back, you should just have, it's actually perfect. We're going to in a second to like blow dry because we're just cross checking right now. Cross check here, and you should have that same shorter to longer against the head shape. All right, so we're gonna swap, Madison.
Okay.
You're gonna mist her hair down, choose products, and you're gonna teach the world how to blow dry her hair.
All right.
Ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. I think I have all the faith in you.
So do
I know
I.
that you can. The big thing, you've watched the videos. You understand how to work in the circles with the head shape, and we'll just have you use a round brush. And I would use, just what we've been working on.
Okay.
Cool?
Sounds good.
All right. Emily, what do you want to tell us? Oh, we got a comment.
Oh.
Woohoo, Josephine. How's it going? This is Emily.
Hi.
We're all working. So what products are you going to choose here, Madison?
Well, I'm going to be choosing something that's going to tame down any of like these frizzy portions and tend it really nice and smooth.
So what products are you going to use? Do you know which ones?
That's what I'm trying to think of right now. Which one would be the best, because she does have finer hair. I don't want anything that's going to be too heavy, because she also wants just a little bit more of that volume worked in there, because I don't want to weigh it down and have it lay flat to the head. So
All right.
do you have any particular suggestions?
I have two suggestions for you.
Well, I'm here.
So do you want, the question I would ask is, do you like your hair to be like softer and bouncier, or do you like your hair to be a little bit more, let's see, lived in feeling, or a little bit like day old?
Maybe more soft.
Okay. So this kind of tells us right away, the thing you want to use is Set and Style spray, and I'd probably use a little bit of protective thickening lotion through her ends. The Set and Style spray through the base to give us a little bit of soft bounce and hold. Protective thickening lotion to protect those ends, strengthen them, has UV protectant and heat protectant in it, so it'll give it a little bit more protective balance. Cool?
All right, sounds good.
Awesome. And Mary, yes, I would love to come down and visit and teach. That would be awesome. Just hit me up and let me know. Here we go. So, Madison, you're on.
Yes.
So talk about what's going through your head. Just talk about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Woo! We got construction going on, so you got to shout.
So what I'm doing right now with the set and style spray, I'm sectioning out pieces of our hair so I can work it down into the roots because that's what we're going to want most of that. Wow, real loud.
Well, you know, it's rough when you have to have construction and a salon at the same time running. So
You know, you just got to work with what you got and that's the best you can do.
exactly. All right.
So I'm just working it through.
You can go a little more aggressive with that. It's not too, go in a little aggressively, especially where you want it to have more volume. You can go
That's
in.
going to be more at the top.
Yeah, so like through the sides and the top and right through here. Yep, there you go. Whenever you're working with a spray, you want to hold it usually about 8 to 12 inches away so it really disperses, atomizes. There you go. That's awesome. Now the reason we chose a spray over a mousse or anything like that is a mousse is actually going to it coats the hair a little bit more. Any kind of like whip or treat like that's going to coat the hair a little. Her hair is really fine and the fabric is super fine, so if we want something that's going to give it just a little bit of grit without being too much. And we're using the set and style. Great, and then you want to use protective throughout the ends. And the protective thickening lotion is just going to help give it that smooth blowout. It's an amazing product for using for blowing out hair. Both of these are two of my favorite products for doing blowouts. I think it's a really great thing. Yep, go crazy. You can put almost as much of this in as you want. The nice thing about it is it doesn't build up on the hair. It's pretty close to weightless. What I really like about Arojo and Arojo products is the fact that it actually, you can really layer it and just kind of build on, and it doesn't get, too crazy. You know, it's not going to be too heavy. You can really work it on through. Grab you some clips here. I'll get you all prepared. So Madison has been working with us for right about 2 weeks now. This is your second week.
Yeah, this is week 2.
Week 2, and she's already doing a live. We just put people right to work.
Exactly. Make it interesting, right?
Exactly.
Never boring.
Her first weekend here, she's doing blowouts for Vidal Sassoon. Yep, let's section this all out. Grab all that hair.
You also have a comb too as well?
You sure can. You can have whatever you need. Just yell. I'm your assistant.
All right.
All right. So you're combing through the hair to make sure that it's all evenly dispersed.
And I'm using the wide portion of the comb right now because I don't want to hit any snarls or start to tug and to pull.
Okay. Awesome. All right.
And then also make sure to always comb it in the direction of where you're going to be parting because that's going to give you the most control. And so then you can get those cleaner sections there.
So with this, you're going to use a round brush, right?
Yep.
So you don't need to section out the top. We're going to kind of go through a little bit here.
Okay.
Let me show you the best way, especially with her long hair. Here, you can hold this. So when doing this, usually when we section out the top, that's where we're starting to work with flat wrapping. But we don't need to flat wrap her hair in this case. We're going to actually work more in a circle. We're going to work with her head shape because of her density. We'll start in the top. We'll work and comb the hair down to the nape so that it falls like this. Because now when we're blow drying and we're going to use a round brush, we can actually put in the curve to the shape of the head. Does this make sense?
Yep.
So we'll bring all that down, and then we'll do the same on this side. And again, it's just like you were saying, comb the hair into the direction you want it to fall, and then just comb that on down, so you can see that nice shape all the way around. Now, let's add a little bit more water to her hair.
So we actually have something to blow out.
Well, it's also not only that. You got to think about blow drying. When you're blow drying hair, what's actually creating the set and the bounce?
It's going to be the heat and the water, correct?
Yeah,
Working together.
Of the heat and the water, and you're changing the hydrogen bond inside the hair. When you're changing that hydrogen bond, you're actually you gotta have water in it to have hydrogen bonds to activate it so it's softer. Because when hair is like blown, when it's dry, you're not going to, so I don't need to really hit the ends that much because again, we're really more going for volume than we are for curl. We're not like trying to make her a beachy wave. We're not trying to make her look like every Instagram picture. We're trying to make her look like she's got a little bit of bounce, a little bit of movement. All right. Then you can go in with your round brush.
And what size round brush are we using today?
Well, here's the thing. The larger round brush or the smaller round brush depends on what you're going to do. The larger the round brush, the straighter the hair, the less bounce on the scalp. The smaller the round brush, and I like this one, the 43 centimeter one by Ergo is a great one because it's just the right amount of oomph, but you can still use it to pull out hair straight.
So you
will
can
be
be
your tool.
smooth, but have that bounce.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite. All right. Ooh,
Hand it over.
let's put my fingers in front of the camera. Oh, we lost all of our people.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Well, you know, at least you saved these though.
I know. All right, so the trick with this is to make sure when you start to take only, again,
What you can control.
what you can control. You want to be able to like take your sections so they're only, you know, a couple inches. Now the brush may be longer and it's okay. So you can go a little longer, bigger than that. Kind of like what I do is I look at the curve of her head. So like here's her, she's got this curve here, she's got this curve here. Oh, that's about her curvature. So you can take that much, you know, you can take
So
that
you
much.
want to go more where it's a flatter plane.
Yeah, always working. That's the trick to being really good at hairdressing is really paying attention to like the head shape and think about the panels of it. All right. So this is just one of our typical classes. I've just cut, we did a demo, and now actually Madison, who's assisting, is doing the blow drying. And she is, let's put high speed. You probably want medium heat on her. That's good because her hair's fine. If her hair was coarser, we would want to go with a higher heat. Okay. I'm going to show you a couple of things.
Okay.
Ready? Let's swap. Here we go.
All right.
I'll grab this. You got that?
Yep.
Here's what I'm going to recommend. So shoot right here. So a couple of things. Whether you're shooting blow drying with your right hand or left hand, body position is huge. If you were standing here and you're doing everything with your arms, what you want to do, instead of working with your arms, this is going to kill your body. First thing you want to do is if you're holding the blow dryer with your right hand, your right foot goes forward.
Okay.
Okay? The second thing is, when you bring your brush in, you want to first gather all the hair up, lock it, either lock it by wrapping it or lock it with your fingers. Because we want to dry the base first. Now watch my arms, they're not going to move. I'm going to shift all my weight to my right foot.
Yep.
As I move out, I'm going to shift everything to my left foot. I'm going to go back, now I'm working on the mid, so I get the base, get that base in there, so I got some lift. Dip to the mids. And then as I get to the mids and the ends, then I will start to like scoop the hair around the brush and start to roll it. But everything's already dry. Or almost. But again, we're not going for straight. Then I can just blow dry down the hair shaft and slowly lower everything down. And start to see that bounce.
Okay.
Now, I don't usually blow dry with my right hand. I usually am this way. So this is my form. So that way you can see, and that way I have the control of the wrap. Blow dry. I have a little more control using my right hand, but the body position is the same. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Good luck. You're
Oh,
on
thank
next.
you.
Here we go. But I think it's important to be able to work like this where you can actually like work side by side, so you can start to see, well, the goal is we got to have tension so we can get rid of all those fuzzies, but at the same time, so now your angle is going to be here.
Yep.
Your brush angle will be here, and again, think about your body position and your feet position.
Yep. So if I'm gonna be.
Yep, exactly. You want to make sure your blow, whatever hand has got the blow dryer in it, it's got to be, that foot's got to be forward, and your weight's on that foot. And then as you, okay, that's too much hair. Can you see that?
Yep. Where I want.
Yep. You got to like really pay attention to that, to the curves of the head. And then as you get that base dry, so dry between here and here, move the blow dryer, relax your hand. There you go. Get that dry, because you got to get this base dry. That's going to give you your volume. Because otherwise you're going to pull out everything that you're trying to put in. Now it's shifting your weight all the way to your back. You see the difference?
Yep.
So much easier on your body. You're not going to hurt your shoulder blades. You're not going to hurt your back. You want to really just kind of like focus on smoothing that out. Yep. It's paying attention to those little things. There you go. And if you don't have to bring it all the way, there you go. The big thing is always to spin the ends before you let go, and then place it gently to where you want it to live.
So then it can set.
Yep, so that it can set. But you can already see we got more volume at the base than you did before. Ooh, we got mesmerizing. That's cool. Thank you. Hot flash. Number 3. They're mesmerized. We got Maddie working right next door, hanging out. Cutting, cutting, cutting. There we go. Look at that. Get that base. Yep. Then go into the mids. It's a lot to think about.
But it starts to become second nature.
It will, but it takes like a while. As you can see, when I was trying to do it with my opposite normal, not strong hand, I was like not so good at it. It's just like, we all have to work at it. Constantly work. So our Tuesday mornings here in the salon are kind of like, this is our training time. It's always a little slower. We only have about 2 or 3 people that actually are on staff at this time. So like here, now think about where your hair is falling. Now look where you're standing. So if I'm standing looking straight ahead to where, you see the curve of her head is here? So you want to be over this way more. There you go. See it?
Yep.
Work with the shape of the head, because otherwise you're over directing it back and it's going to be flatter through the front. Yep, angle of your brush should follow the curvature of the head. Nice. And then you're shifting your weight from the one foot to the other. I like that you're moving your arms. Bring it down to where it's going to live. Roll those ends, and then bring it down to where it's going to live. Yep, keep going, keep going. There you go, where it's going to live. So then when you come here, you're going to have to turn her head so you can blow dry the front. But you can't, otherwise you have to stand in front of her. So now you want to take this, you want see her part here?
Yep.
You want to work past her part. You already dried some of this, so now you want to work.
Kind of make it a hard part.
Otherwise you're going to get a hard part. Nobody wants a hard part blown into their hair. They want it to be able to create the part after the hair is already dry. Well, Margaret joined us. Hi, Margaret. There we go. So this is kind of a fun way of doing it, just having you working on your blow drying technique here. Yep, and then you can switch sides. And you can start right in the front here if you want and work your way back. So as you're doing this, just kind of talk me through so you feel her curve.
Yep.
So you want to
trying to part it in
Yep.
that area.
Always-
So it's as flat of a plane as possible.
Exactly.
Alright. Now, making sure that all the hairs are combed in the right direction so that I'm not going to run into any snarls as I continue working.
Get it nice and locked. Yep. Lock that.
Lock in there. And then moving the blow dryer too as well because we don't want to have a constant heat on the scalp because that's going to end up burning and just not feeling good at all.
Yep, exactly.
So as we're working through,
Get the base,
that
then you.
base in there, and then you want to start working out to the mid shaft because you can't even work out to the ends. You know, you gotta go in a fluid motion, get that nice and smooth.
Don't forget to use your feet.
Yep, and make sure to shift back.
There you go.
Pull it and let it.
Nice.
All right. Now we're gonna find.
This is your first time doing this, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Well, at least being very disciplined about it.
Yep. Grab all the hair underneath. There you go. Got it? I'm a good assistant. I'll help.
Yes, you are.
Get that base. Yep. And we'll be working on mannequins a lot later today about doing this. So when you're doing this, think about your angle.
Yep. And you want to
Do you see how I just moved your body?
Yep.
Just your angle, because people. What I find is a lot of people when they're in school, they like to stand always on the side, and they're kind of afraid to stand over. So always keep that same space here to here.
Okay.
Do you feel the difference?
Yep.
See, that means take a half a step that direction. There you go. You want to pull the hair straight out. There. Nice. You're getting that nice and smooth. But your body position is really, it's good. And that's the key thing to think about. And you're pulling it straight out from the head. You're not lowering it. You're not like over directing. Because we're just trying to get some bounce in body and at the same time smooth out her hair a little bit. There you go. If it's dry, it's dry. Let's go to the next one. Now the curvature of the head is here, so you're going to be there. Pull it straight out. And this is just foundational blow drying that we're working on. All right, looks like we're getting close to the end here. So this is the type of classes that we teach at Moxie. If you're ever interested in becoming an employee, you can come in and hang out with us. We'll show you the foundations of hair. We also have an academy class that we work on. And say goodbye.